Hello, you champions of change. Today I want to talk about tiny habits. I've already talked about how change is really hard work and the reasons behind that. Our brain moves back in time when we're thinking about decisions of our future. And so it recreates our past when we're moving into our future. So how do we change what we want to move into? Well, there's this tiny habits process, and the idea behind it is change happens through our motivation. With high motivation, change is high, but the problem with motivation is it changes daily. You're tired, you're excited, you're annoyed, you're angry, whatever it is, that motivation can change and go up and down. So if we're looking for consistent change, and change you can handle on a regular basis, we've got to make the change easier, which means making it tiny, right? And it's through this tiny behavior, this tiny habits, that we can make change more consistent in our lives. I know I've done it. I signed up for Tiny Habits in 2020, and I've been working through this now for the last couple of years, and it's really, really simple. If I want to do something like go for a run on a consistent basis, setting myself a goal of running 5 miles might seem small enough, but it might be raining on the day that I want to run, or I might be tired or injured or just not feeling well. And so suddenly that 5 miles becomes a really kind of challenging process. So I bring it back down to 1, but the same issues arrive. I might be cold, rainy, I might be ill, whatever it is. But what if I set the tiny habit as getting my running clothes out, putting my running shoes by the door? And that's part of the process. It's tiny, that I can do whether I'm sick, whatever it happens. And so by putting the running shoes by the door as my tiny habits, I can do that without actually going for a run. But if I do it consistently enough, the shoes are there. I might as well go for a run. Even if it's raining outside, if it's cold, if I'm sick, I can still do the tiny habit, which means I can then celebrate my tiny habit as being done and executed, and therefore my emotions increase. And it's emotion that creates the behavior change that we're looking for. When I've got a positive emotion, change can happen. Right? And so if you see that within the motivation side of things, my emotion can go up and down with that. And so we want to create a positive emotion, which will then create the change we're looking for. As an example out of my life that I worked was I wanted to journal more. And so what I did is I bought a journal, and my tiny habits was simply that I would open my journal every morning when I got to my office desk. Open my journal, that was it. And I did it for the first 5 days, and then I went to the fact that I opened my journal and I thought, might as well write in it now. And so I started writing it. And regardless of how I felt, regardless of what happened, I would open my journal every single morning because it was a tiny habit that I could do. And now I write in my journal every single morning, and it's really helping me process what's going on in my life and what's happening with me. So I challenge you to think about a tiny habit that you can introduce to your life that will help you create the behavior change that you're looking for. And when I mean tiny, I mean tiny. I wanted to do a push-out exercise routine every morning, and I start with 1 push-up. That's it. I can do a 1 push-up whether I'm ill or I've broken my leg, whatever. I can still do 1 push-up. So challenge you to think about the tiny habits that you want to see in your life. If you want help with this, I would love to help you through a tiny habits process. There is actually a 5-day free tiny habits program that you can sign up for. You can sign that up with me, and I can walk you through it, and I can coach you through all of the behavior change and the tiny habits that you're looking for. It's really, really simple. You just pick 3 tiny habits that you're going to do every day. So challenge you. What's your tiny habits? If you want help, please reach out to me. You can message me, direct message me on LinkedIn. You can email me, whatever you want to do. But sign up for a Tiny Habits program today and get the behavior change that you're looking for. As we're moving into 2023, I want to see you as a successful change maker. Love to help if I can. Thank you.